Hey Zayd, thanks so much for joining me.
Advi, thanks for having me. My pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, Web Summit's a great place to meet, no?
Yes.
First time in Lisbon for me, what about you?
No, I actually lived here for 3 months doing a master's
Okay.
program, but it's my first time back in a couple of years, so it's been good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Just to start us off, I'd love to have you tell us a bit about World Football Summit, what it is that you guys do.
Yeah, sure. So World Football Summit is a B2B platform for the football industry.
Yeah.
We connect executives from clubs, leagues, federations, startups, big companies, brands, sort of everyone within the realm of football as a space. And we do that through our platform, but also through our events. And our events are sort of our main focus right now.
Yeah.
In 2025, for example, we have events in Saudi Arabia, in Spain, in Hong Kong, maybe in Morocco, sort of all over the world.
Okay.
So it's really exciting, it's really great, and we're growing quite a lot. It's been an exciting time for us.
That sounds super cool. So all of these events that you're having, you're getting all these people to come from all these football federations, teams. That must mean you meet some pretty cool people, no?
I do meet some pretty cool people, a lot of CEOs, a lot of executives from clubs. I also get to meet some athletes
Some
here
players
and there.
here and there,
So I
yeah.
met, for example, Giorgio Chiellini at our last event. I
there
met
you
Ivan
go.
Rakitic last year.
Nice.
Maybe we'll meet some good stars in Saudi Arabia
I
soon
like
as well.
it.
So let's see.
Got to drop by for that one now,
Yeah,
just so
yeah.
I can see if I can meet anyone.
You're more than invited.
Nice. So, you guys work in the space, you know football, you know what football is about, no matter if it's one country, one league, you work with them all, so you understand that like across the board, the uniformity that's there is the passion in the fans' hearts, your interest.
Yeah.
I'm a diehard Liverpool fan, right? I have been for the last like 18 years.
I'm a Barca fan, so I don't like you very much.
I mean, that Champions League game was memorable.
It was,
you can't,
for you, not for me.
Okay, fair. I still tear up every time I watch it.
I do for the wrong other reasons.
That's true. But so we understand the passion of the fans and what they're into. What I'm really trying to understand, and look, we work with a few football teams here and there. We're starting to work with more and more like sports leagues. I think there's a lot of intersection between what we do at Social Plus and what you guys do and what these teams do, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And I think the main really benefit that I see here is for their interaction with the fans, for their ability to grow stuff with the fans. I'd just love to get a bit of your thought on it. Where do you see that?
No, absolutely. So, I mean, we were discussing this earlier, right? But football right now is going through a weird phase where viewership of the actual games is kind of decreasing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, I guess talking about it, social media is sort of growing at the same time, right? So
Fantasy.
Yeah, fantasy, exactly. Twitter, or X, I should say, Instagram, all
I
those
still
things.
call it X.
Me too. So all these things are growing so much, and like the fans are no longer watching full 90 minutes. Instead, they're on TikTok, they're on the social media, really looking and consuming fast content. And I think that opens a big opportunity for a lot of clubs, a lot of leagues, federations to sort of capture that, because right now what's happening is all that content is outside of their own platforms. And I guess as a fan, it's not a big deal, but for the companies, there's a bit more that they can do there.
Yeah.
And if they want to really monetize and tap into that market. And then from the fans' perspective, to be honest, I think if it's all in one place, you kind of have more quality connections with people, which I think is important too.
Yeah.
You can maybe find people that are fans of Liverpool as well, instead of sort of having to scour the whole internet. So I think that's an interesting angle, but it's changing a lot.
To be fair, they do that now too, right? Like I see on YouTube now, you have YouTube subscribe and you can get people to pay. I know Liverpool does this because I pay for the subscription, right? But they do this and they have the paywall where they have exclusive videos behind the scenes over there. It just makes more sense to do it in one's own platform so you can hold the data, right?
Exactly. Imagine that was a Liverpool platform, and then people subscribe to Liverpool instead, and then what you get instead of just videos is a whole community, a whole platform that's not just videos, but also chatting, also maybe some angles, some games, some highlights, things like that, right? So I think
Arne Slot, if you're watching, hit me up.
hit him up.
Liverpool all day. Okay, no, that's great. Now, I'd love to also understand, like, I lose people in this conversation, right?
Yeah.
I've had this conversation many times with clubs, many times with leagues, and, you know, people see the benefit, but then they're like, I don't know, am I getting the ROI that I need to get? So, like, what do you see as the main blocker? Like, because I see ROI, like, yes, you can have e-commerce sales through social as well, right? But maybe this is something people haven't considered, but for me, I think the biggest thing is brand partnerships. Already as a club, you have so many sponsors, you have so many brand partners. Enabling them to connect with your user base through a community, through a brand profile, anything like that. Isn't that the goal? And then you can help like charge them so much more in sponsorship.
Exactly. I actually think it's amazing that you say that, because what you can do is geolocate, right? And you can say, okay, like I want to target my fans in India that are from the Liverpool fans. And what you do there is everyone in India, you give them an Indian brand. So that opens your sponsorship base to a lot more companies, right? Instead of just focusing on companies from England or whatnot, you can focus on a company from India or from China or from the Middle East, whatever that is. So I think that's like like a really big return on ROI that a lot of clubs don't look at, but they really should. So that's one thing. There's obviously a lot more that can go into that, but I think for me that's probably the key. It's opening the base, right? Instead of just one area, you could focus on the whole entire world. And a club like Liverpool or United or Barca, they have fans everywhere. So why not take advantage of that?
That takes me. That makes me think of a quick tangent, right? But like, you know how like on jerseys you have the sponsors like name.
Yeah,
It'd
exactly.
be so cool if someone comes up with some tech where like that is changeable in a way.
It's funny you're saying that because I've actually spoken to companies that claim they have that tech.
Yeah.
Whether they do or not, I can't verify.
Because like that, if you could localize that sponsorship, that's next level.
I mean, they literally tell me that we can do that. Then I've spoken to other companies that say that company says they can do that. They say no, they can't. It's impossible. But I'm like, they've told me they can.
Something to explore.
So it's happening. It's coming. It's coming. If it's not there now, it's coming soon.
Damn, should have thought of it earlier.
Yeah. There's a company called Sponics that does similar things, but instead of on the shirt, it's actually on like the pitch or on the paddle court or something like that. So that will change based on the location.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The shirt would obviously be amazing, but again, that's a little bit
futuristic.
Coming soon.
Hopefully soon. Nice. So when it comes to like what we do, at Social Plus, right? I'll just list our feature sets for you.
Yeah, sure.
And I guess I want to know for you, what do you think for, let's say, an average football team? What do you think should be prioritized, right?
Yeah, sure.
So we have chat.
Okay.
We have feeds where you can understand what's happening.
Okay.
You have groups where people can discuss stuff, and then you have live stream and stories.
Okay. So chats and groups kind of go together in my head.
Okay.
I think that would make a lot of sense. I think people love talking to people about the sport, like on X or Twitter or whatever.
Yeah,
There's so many different spaces with people chatting. So it's not just like a web chat, but it's also a video or voice chat.
Yeah.
People love that. As a fan, I love that. But also, I think
always talking with my friends before the game, after the game, during the game. Yeah.
Yeah. Then I think also like the live stream, the live feed is also really cool. Get to watch games, watch highlights. That would be awesome as well. I think there's a lot there, but for me, the group chats, I think that's like the biggest important thing because that's where the networking really happens. Networking's not the right word. That's where the interaction really happens.
Yeah,
right?
fair. No, I mean it's good that you bring that up. In fact, a few of our clients, not just in the sports side, but in the streaming and in the betting space, that's kind of what they prefer, is like having that chat, and more so, I think the biggest thing that we've seen is having like small dedicated group chats where you can like just have it with your friends, you know?
Exactly,
Because yes, sometimes if you have that group, that live chat that just keeps going and going and going,
way too many people,
that's so annoying sometimes, right? But like tailored group chats in like like watch party concept, right?
And if you can do that via like country or city even. Actually via city would be a really cool idea. So let's say like Los Angeles,
localized,
then you can just talk to people within Los Angeles, and those people can turn into more than just chat buddies, but also friends in real life, right? It becomes a lot easier to create those connections. So I think that's a cool idea as well.
Awesome.
It sounds like you guys are doing a lot of interesting things and a lot of potential for these sports clubs.
Stay tuned. I'm sure we'll discuss more when in Riyadh. But
I hope to see you there.
So what's the biggest priority for you now?
Biggest priority for us is organizing ourselves. We're growing quite a lot. Next year we have between 6 and 8 events. This year we've had between 3 or 4 and 5. So it's a big growth. So making sure that we're organized, getting everything on board is important. I think growing is great, but making sure the quality stays the same is fundamental.
100%.
So that's going to be our focus, maintaining the quality, good speakers, great partners, great clubs on board, all of that. That's going to be our priority.
Hoping to be a great partner and hoping to come see you in Mexico. I think you guys are doing Mexico next year too,
right?
Mexico
as well.
I'm moving there, so I think that's ideal.
We'll see you there. It's going to be great.
Thank you so much for joining me.
I really
enjoyed this.
Yeah,
awesome.